Once upon a time, in a bright green valley where the sun always smiled, there lived a little fox named Flicker. Flicker had the fluffiest orange tail in the whole valley, but he was very shy. He loved watching other animals play from behind tall sunflowers, but he never joined in. What if they laugh at my big ears? He would whisper to himself. What if I'm not fast enough or funny enough? Not far away, in a cozy burrow under an old oak tree, lived a cheerful rabbit named Rosie. Rosie had soft white fur with one perfect pink spot on her nose. She hopped everywhere, singing little songs and making friends with every butterfly and beetle she met. But deep down, Rosie felt a tiny bit lonely. When the day ended and everyone went home to their families, I have so many friends, she thought. But I wish for one special friend who stays with me through everything. One sparkling morning in early spring, something magical happened. A gentle wind carried hundreds of glowing dandelion seeds across the valley. The animals called them wish seeds. If you caught one and made a wish with a true heart, something wonderful might come true. Flicker peeked out from his hiding spot and saw a wish seed floating right toward him. He jumped, higher than he'd ever jumped before, and caught it gently in his paws. I wish I could find a friend who likes me just the way I am, he whispered. At the exact same moment, Rosie was hopping through a meadow. A wish seed twirled down and landed on her nose. She giggled and closed her eyes. I wish for a best friend who will adventure with me forever and ever, she said softly. The two wish seeds glowed brighter than ever, and whoosh, they swirled together in the air, sparkling like tiny stars, then zoomed off in opposite directions. One toward the shady woods, one toward the sunny hills. That very afternoon, Flicker decided to be brave. He stepped out of his sunflower patch and walked toward the big, whispering woods at the edge of the valley. The trees there were tall and old, and their leaves rustled secrets to anyone who listened quietly. Meanwhile, Rosie felt a tug in her heart. She hopped straight toward the same whispering woods, following a trail of extra bright buttercups that seemed to wink at her. They arrived at the woods' entrance at the very same time. Hello? Flicker called in a small voice, his ears flat against his head. Hello, Rosie answered, her ears standing straight up. They peeked around the same giant tree trunk, and their eyes met. Flicker froze. Rosie's eyes grew wide. You're a fox, Rosie said. And you're a rabbit, Flicker replied, ready to run. But neither of them ran. Instead, Rosie smiled her biggest smile. I'm Rosie. I was hoping to find someone to explore with today. Flicker's tail gave a tiny wag. I'm Flicker. I wanted to be brave and meet someone new. And just like that, because of two wish seeds and two brave hearts, they decided to walk into the whispering woods together. The woods were full of wonders. First, they found a sparkling stream where silver fish jumped like fireworks. Rosie splashed in happily. Flicker hesitated. What if I get my fur all wet? He worried. Rosie laughed kindly. Then we'll dry off together in the sun. Friends help each other, right? Flicker dipped one paw in, then another. Then he jumped in with a joyful yelp. They laughed and splashed until their fur stuck out in silly spikes. Next, they discovered a clearing where fireflies danced even though it was daytime. The fireflies formed shapes. A heart, a star, two little animals holding paws. Flicker and Rosie gasped. They're happy we're friends, Rosie whispered. Flicker felt warm inside. I think so too. But the woods had one more test. Deep in the center stood the oldest tree of all, the grandfather oak. Its branches were so thick they blocked the sky, and its roots made twisty paths. Legend said that anyone who wanted to leave the woods as true friends had to solve the grandfather oak's riddle. A deep, kind voice rumbled from the tree. To leave as friends forever true. Solve my puzzle, me and you. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Flicker and Rosie looked at each other. An echo? Flicker guessed. The tree rustled. Close, but not quite. Rosie thought hard. The wind itself? The leaves shivered. You are both so close. Think together. They sat down, tails touching, and whispered ideas back and forth. Suddenly, Flicker's ears perked up. It's an echo! Because an echo speaks without a mouth, hears without ears, has no body, and comes alive when wind carries your voice. Rosie bounced, and we figured it out together. The grandfather oak laughed a deep, happy laugh. Sunlight poured through the branches like golden rain. You may leave. The tree boomed gently, as true friends forever. Remember, friendship is not just playing together. It is helping, listening, being brave for each other, and coming back after every adventure. 2 glowing paths appeared, leading out of the woods. But Flicker and Rosie didn't want to separate yet. Can we have more adventures? Rosie asked. Flicker nodded fast. Every day if you want. They left the woods side by side, tails swishing happily. From that day on, the valley changed. Flicker stopped hiding behind sunflowers. He greeted everyone with a shy smile. And soon the other animals loved his quiet kindness. Rosie still hopped and sang, but now she always had Flicker beside her. When she felt a tiny bit lonely at sunset, he was there with a warm hug. Well, as much of a hug as a fox and rabbit can give. They had many more adventures. They rescued a lost baby squirrel who got stuck in a thorn bush. Flicker used his clever paws. Rosie used her speedy hops to find help. They built the tallest leaf fort in the valley and invited every animal to a grand picnic. They found a secret cave filled with shiny crystals and made necklaces for all their friends. When a big storm came and the river rose too high, they worked together to warn everyone and move the little ones to safety. And every evening, no matter how tired they were, they sat on their favorite hill and watched the stars come out. Do you remember the wish seeds? Flicker asked one night. Rosie leaned against him. I do. I think they knew we needed each other. Flicker smiled. I'm glad they did. And so, in the bright green valley where the sun always smiled, 2 friends proved that the best friendships are made when you're brave enough to say hello, kind enough to listen, and strong enough to stay through every adventure, big or small.